Has anyone ever been trolled on the internet? I know I have. To me, I saw it as a sign of success. You know you've made it when people start trying to shoot you down. But here's the thing with the internet is you're only getting trollers on social media where you're hidden. So it's easy to go on Twitter, isn't it? If you're so inclined to do so, and write something horrible about somebody, because it's a safe place. You're hidden. You're just characters, and maybe the profile picture isn't even you. You can even say things that aren't true on LinkedIn. A lot of people give advice that they've no idea what they're talking about. They've read it in a book, or they post while they're in a rage, and they post things that they really shouldn't. Same for Facebook. You know, if people's real lives were posted on Facebook, it'd just be posts of people going the loo and eating the tea and arguing with the partner and walking the dog. It wouldn't be very exciting. We put this glossy sheen on there, don't we? And why? Because we think it's a really good thing is to present this photoshopped, unrealistic view of our life. So when it comes to sales, why do people love sending emails and direct messages on LinkedIn and trying to create a click funnel? Because it's safe. Because you're detached, you're removed from the outcome, you're removed from what people think. You can post a glossy version on there, but you know what? It's also removed from getting a result. Now, I'm not saying LinkedIn and social media doesn't generate business, it does, but we're talking about direct sales here. If you got a new sales job, what would your first 100 days look like? How are you going to go from zero to business as fast as you can? Are you going to spend 3 months researching profiles, creating click funnels? Or are you just going to pick up the phone? Just go and say hello. So this is where things like Clubhouse have really come into effect. And I'm not talking from a sales angle. I'm talking there's very little trolling on Clubhouse. Because you have to own what you say. You can't type it and hide. It's really you, really there, really saying it. There's no pictures to Photoshop. There's no just out of shot, you're in a terrible place, but you make it look brilliant. It's you, it's raw, it's real. And some people worry about going on stage because of this. But people worry about raw and real when everything in sales research shows now, raw and real is what people actually want. You only have to turn any social media on for anybody talking about sales or marketing to hear the word authenticity banded around. You've got to be authentic. How can this be done when you're trying to create authenticity? It's a paradox in itself. So what is the most authentic, genuine, terrifying but real way to connect with people? The real way to go out and spread your message and sell? Pick up the phone. Go and have a real conversation where you're vulnerable and you're open to rejection and emotion with real people who have those same issues. Do some research, find who are the best people you should be speaking to that you help, and go and try and have that chat. Sounds easy, doesn't it? If anybody's tried it, you know it isn't. And people are terrified of this. So what can you do about this? Well, a million different things. The first one is you've got to pick up the phone. A lot of people out there know what to do, but don't actually do it. And this is the real difference. If you do the thing you fear, that fear will disappear. If somebody phoned you this morning and had a genuine, interesting conversation with you that you believed in and you believed they could help you, would you be offended? Would you feel trolled? No. That person's Father Christmas on the phone for you. They've come into your world in a very unassuming and humble manner and got you talking about some ways that they could help. So what ultimately can you do about this? You can learn. You can learn to get better. And to me, a cold call, the terrifying bit for most people is that first 10 seconds, that first 20 seconds. After that, it's just a conversation. It's that approaching somebody at the bar that you're attracted to and saying hello. How do you go about that? Well, first thing, you've got to get attention. Without attention, you haven't got anything. If you go up to somebody at the bar and you try and say hello and you mumble, or you come across as a cliche, or you say something rude or vulgar, you're not going to get very far at all, are you? Because you know what? The receiver of that message is also feeling vulnerable. So we need to get attention. We need to get their attention off what they're currently doing and onto you. And how do you do this? Well, many people call it a pattern interrupt or just an interruption, which is what a cold call is, isn't it? But we've got to get their attention, their ears and their thoughts on you, not on what they're currently doing. So you'll hear a lot of sales calls, you've probably received these, that start without getting your attention. They start with, good morning, my name is, and I'd like to talk to you today about. I'm sure you bloody would, but I'm busy, sorry. There's no attention grabber there. There's nothing interesting. They've not ran into your office shouting fire. It's just another sales call. Or maybe they start sounding a bit depressed. We don't want to listen to that either. Or even worse, they go the other way. They sound like Barney the dinosaur. Hello! And it's this fake, non-authentic, I need to be a salesperson now voice. So we can get their attention with your voice. Be calm, be bold, be businesslike, be to the point. Enunciate. If you want to sound like you've got something important to say, sound like you have something important to say. Slow and low. So we're going to go in businesslike and bold with how we sound. And then we need a little phrase to get their attention. Lots of leads out there now. And you know what? There isn't one single way to do this. You've got to feel comfortable with it. It's what you're comfy in. But you've got to interrupt that pattern of what they're expecting. Morning. Listen, Dave, we've never spoken before. Now you've got my attention. Sharon, morning. Listen, I'm on your website right now. Right, they're in the room. You've got their attention. I know that I'm an interruption to your day. Would you like to hang up now, or would you be kind enough to give me 30 seconds of your time? It's different, it's bold, but it's confident and it's genuine. You're telling the absolute truth. As Steve Myers in our Clubhouse room says, tell the goddamn truth. Because it's the last thing people are expecting. So there's 100 ways to do this, and it's just the very start. You've then got to construct it. And you know what? You've got to learn to love it as well. If you want to know more about making cold calls, you want to make more successful cold outreach over the phone, you want to feel confident, and you want to learn to enjoy it, give me a shout. We've got our Cold Call Like a Boss workshop starting 1st of June. This is 5 1-hour online modules. You get a whole host of things to download and support. And I make real live cold calls to businesses of your choice through the course for you to watch and learn from. So give me a shout. There'll also be a link around here somewhere, and we'll speak to you soon. Cheers.